Hi everyone, this is Paris Debono of the Fortune Teller Shop, and I have been a professional fortune teller now since 1990. I first fell in love with tarot cards back then, and since then I've always had them by my side, and they've helped me through my life, and they've also helped me to be successful and create a career that I love. I've also owned 4 different fortune telling shops, and in that time that I've worked in my shops, I've met many clients, and I've had some very interesting questions. So I asked my tarot group on Facebook, what are the weirdest, funniest, or silliest questions you have been asked as a tarot reader? Latau says, so are you a real psychic or are you just interpreting the cards? Yes, I get this one asked often as well. I think in many people's minds they somehow separate the two things. It's almost like, are you reading a book or are you just reading the words? It's almost like asking a bike rider, are you riding a bike or are you just moving fast and keeping balance? It's kind of like the two things go together, they're hand in hand. Or are you making a cake or are you just reading the ingredients and the steps and the recipe? Our next one is from Karen. What's really hot about me? Okay. I tend to get clients that I have to tell that they need to get hotter. So often in my case, I've had more that I've said to them, well, why don't you doll yourself up? Why don't you get a makeover? Why don't you flirt more? Especially the ones that are desperate and dateless and are not very attractive looking. I say to them, you need to sort of zhuzh yourself up, start getting a bit sexy, and I can get away with it because I'm a fortune teller and they don't take it as an insult, so that works. Ray says, can you read my mind right now with it? Yes, I have been asked this one as well. Sometimes people think that I'm reading their mind, or I'm some sort of mind reader. And one time I explained that to someone on television. They thought I was a mind reader, and I said, well, I think it'll be harder to read people's mind than to read the cards. So I said to them, it's a compliment that they think I'm a mind reader. Jesse's one is tarot safe? Doesn't it open the gateway to the spirit world? Yes, I've had this one also asked of me too. Sometimes I actually hear people say things like that outside of my shop window. Sometimes when I'm sitting inside the store, they can't see me because of the shop reflection, like the window reflection. And I hear all sorts of comments about demonic possession and witchcraft and all sorts of crazy sort of stuff. So yes, I have been asked that one as well. Deepali says, when will I die? Oh yes, probably the most famous one of all, when will I die? Yes, I've had this one asked of me, usually by young men. Usually the young guys go to that one straight away. And I often tell them, well, I don't tell you when you're going to die, I tell you how you can live better. I'm a fortune teller. I tell you your fortune, the things that are fortunate, and how to get fortunate, not about death. Bobby's client asked, is he effing other women or is he just getting blowjobs? Oh yes, I've had similar questions asked of me, and I've also had awkward readings when there's a couple in front of me. So I'll have like a husband and wife or a girlfriend and boyfriend, and they've come in together for a reading and their reading is bad or awkward, or not very harmonious, or I can see cheating in there, and then they get awkward, and they're the ones that are really difficult to deal with, is when there's cheating in a relationship and the couple is in front of you together. So now we're going to look at some top 10 silly psychic questions. So number 10, are you from the devil? So yes, a lot of people have asked me that over the years, and the simple answer is no. I'm not from the devil. The tarot cards have nothing to do with the devil. They are ancient wisdom, they're arcane knowledge, they're beautiful art, and each card has a message or a story about it, and it's not from the devil, even though there is a devil card. But the devil card usually means fear, negativity, burden, bondage, and bad behavior. Number 9, how about a freebie? Look, there's nothing wrong with getting a freebie if you are talking to someone who's a beginner tarot reader. But in my case, I've been doing this job for 30 years and I have a shop. So yes, I have had people come to my shop and want a freebie, and I usually tell them that I have to pay the rent, so no. Number 8, will I get lucky? So sometimes I do entertain this question. Sometimes if someone wants to know if they're going to win the lottery or some sort of like luck, I will look in the tarot cards and see if there's the Wheel of Fortune, and if it's with other like good money cards, I would sort of think that they might be lucky in some way. If I'm doing their astrology chart, I would look in the 5th house and see if Jupiter's in the 5th house. Jupiter's about luck, and 5th house is to do with games of chance, such as lottery. Sometimes the 8th house as well is, if Jupiter is in the 8th house, that could be an influx of money from somewhere unexpected. Also, if Jupiter is in the 1st house, could be that money, luck rains upon them. But if someone just was to walk into my shop and ask me that, I'd probably ignore them or tell them to go away. But if I was in the middle of a reading and the client asked me that question, I would probably entertain that one. So will I get lucky? Number 7, who will win the game? Now, sometimes actually when I'm not at work and with friends, sometimes I will do this one as well. I remember years ago I was at my relative's place, and there was this was when I was in Europe, and there was the World Cup, and I remember everyone was asking me who did I think was going to win, and I can't remember the team because it was a few years ago, but I remember saying to them that this team, a certain team, would win, and throughout the whole game they were trailing behind almost every step of the way, and everyone, all my cousins and relatives, were giving me a hard time because they thought I was wrong. And then right at the very end, the team that I said would win actually scored and won. And then everyone thought I was just incredible and amazing, and so they gave me a hard time like throughout the whole game, throughout the whole match, until the very end when the team that I predicted would win actually did win. And then they were all kind of quiet, and they didn't hassle me anymore. Okay, when will I die? So yeah, number 6, when will I die? This is again, we've already talked about this one in the video. This is a famous one. I think a lot of young silly people think of that one. So yeah, don't know what to say about that one. I usually tell them that I tell them how to live, not to die. Number 5, are you for real? Oh yes, I actually have people come into my shop. It's a fortune teller shop, and they ask me what shop is it, and I say it's the fortune teller, and they say, what is that? So a lot of people don't even know what it is, apparently. And then some people will ask me, am I for real? And I'll say, well, if I wasn't for real, then why would I have a shop? So I don't quite understand that. Number 4, what am I thinking? Oh, that's the famous one that we've already covered. So yeah, a lot of people think that we are mind readers of some sort. So I usually say to them, I'm not a mind reader, I'm a card reader. A little bit different. Am I drunk? Number 3. I actually have had 4 shops in around Sydney, and a few of my shops have been next to pubs. So sometimes I actually do get people who are drunk, and I've had to turn them away. And I've told them to come back when they haven't had alcohol or been drinking. Now, when they ask me, are they drunk? I usually tell them that I can't read for you if you were drunk anyway. What's my name? Number 2. Oh, this one's just annoying. This one's just annoying. This one is usually thrown at you when they walk into the shop or they walk past your shop and they run. So, that's more like an insult, really. Number 1. What are the lotto numbers? Oh, they love saying that one as well. So, again, I'm not here to help you to win the lottery, but I can tell you if you're going to get some good luck or some bad luck or some highs and some lows. So, yes. Now, if you don't see your question, ask one. So this little top 10 silly questions, it just is there to show people that these questions are kind of silly and to not waste your time. Like if you do go to a reading, for those people who have not had a reading before, try to think of, really good questions like about your relationships or your career, or whether you're going to travel or family issues. A lot of time is wasted on people being silly. And it probably is just a fear mechanism. The clients or the people are asking silly questions in order to avoid being scared or confronted, or they don't want to hear something bad. So they're just protecting themselves often. And perhaps there are people that really don't have a clue, and maybe they're asking a silly question because they just don't know any better either. Okay, so that was the top 10 silly questions to ask a tarot reader. I will be leaving this video here so it doesn't get too long. I'm pretty sure I'm going to make follow-up videos on this one because I had a lot of response on this post from the Tarot Facebook group. So I'm sure I will be adding more videos about this topic. I want to thank everyone who contributed with their questions and their feedback and their comments. This is Paris Debono of the Fortune Teller Shop.